Vegas lights shine bright, bad boys sitting pretty. Michael, Steve, Rob running things in Sin City. Podcast blazing truth, rhyming hard and witty. Three kings on the mic, Vegas life gets gritty. Matt Michaels dropping bombs, quick wit, no filter. Sin City's own, blending gold with the silver. Steve taking notes, every word's a thriller. Rob's on the tracks, beats cold like a chiller. Bad boys a podcast, raw truth they broadcast. Speaking facts so fast, haters coming dead last. Las Vegas legends, three amigos top class. Mic in hand, setting fire, never outclassed.
Hey everybody, Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting here. Matt Michaels, Sin City Steve, and of course Rob Larry. And we're coming off of a pretty big weekend with the Survivor Series War Games that took place. And of course, the men's match ended up with these guys losing.
In sync. Or is it 98 degrees?
Backstreet Boys, maybe.
Yeah, the Backhole Boys.
I don't know.
They'll go so low.
Very, very so low. You know, and speaking of that, there was a lot of dancing going on in the match too.
Oh yeah.
WCW should have won. Jay Uso ran back his entrance in the middle of War Games. So, what you guys think?
And they climbed to the top to go.
Yeah,
that was by far the most polarizing thing on that entire show. Was the placement of the mid-match yeet, which then was interrupted by Brock Lesnar's music, and it's pretty funny. Obviously, he had the immortal meme line, "Party's over, Grandpa," and now he's essentially saying "Party's over, kid" to Jey Uso and about 40,000 other people at Petco Park, all yeeting in the middle of what should be one of the more aggressive matches, let's just say, in WWE, being War Games. So it definitely divided the internet, to say the least.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the problem. The problem is this. You want to say that, okay? Hey, these internet fans, oh, they're doing this. Oh, they're doing this. Same motherfuckers who, if they got a ticket, are fucking doing the thing.
And that's the thing. It's all about the experience, especially with, you know, if you've got people paying 4-5 digits for a ticket.
Yes.
Clearly, WWE is playing to their in-house audience.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, I realistically, I don't shy away from laughing when AEW does comedy spots in mid-match. So therefore, straight up, it would make me a hypocrite if I didn't laugh at what happened at Survivor Series. Now, obviously, time and place, but yeah, I didn't hate it nearly as much as a lot of people that I saw.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people just fucking hate Jey Uso. That's the other thing.
Well, that kind of ties in with tonight, because he loses his match tonight and he's on a war spree, and he basically says, maybe Roman was right. The belt doesn't look good on me. It only looks good on him.
Ooh.
So he's cucking himself.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, intriguing. Ooh. Can't wait to see where that goes. Okay, so the end of the match, we have Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, Chris Jericho all attack CM Punk, apparently.
Austin Theory. You kind of buried the lead there.
No, I'm saying exactly what the internet is saying. Those are the top 3 names that everyone is saying did this.
Oh, no, it was Austin Theory. Yeah. It's
wait. See, here's the thing. If you know anything about WWE, Austin Theory could have been the one in the
that night
doing it, right? Because because let's say Jericho's contract isn't cleared yet, right? Or Seth is about to get cleared, but he hasn't been cleared yet. So they can't physically use those guys in the ring.
But they could just retroactively say it was them later on.
Of course.
Exactly.
So in other words,
they can shoehorn that shit in.
How many different people were playing? We're playing in TNA Homicide, not Homicide. Who was the dude in the full body suit? Suicide. I've seen TNA tapings where it was two different guys in one taping, being Suicide.
Well, obviously, I mean, we've seen it as recently as El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
It's
and by the way, Suicide was actually this guy, the King of Spice, Curry Man.
That's awesome.
Oh, man.
But you do know that was him, Rob.
Yeah.
Suicide.
Well, one of.
Yep. SCU.
Yep.
Reuniting for a photo. Gotta love it.
Yeah, speaking of, Christopher Daniels did post a photo here. As of today, the three best wrestlers in this picture hold championships, gold in their respective federations. After years of honing their skills around the world against the best competition anywhere, the fourth guy is proud to have shared the ring with them and see their success. And of course, that's AJ, Joe, and Kazarian are the ones wearing the belts. And Daniels is, of course, the guy who's happy to have shared the ring with them. All right. So who attacked them? Who attacked Punk?
Oh, no, who said it? It was Theory. Theory needs Theory. I said Theory and Siri went hello. Theory is the one.
Calm down, Cody.
Theory, it's Theory.
Hey, Theory. Hey, Theory.
Yeah.
That's great. My Siri just did the same thing.
The series was set on Mike Tyson settings. Hey, Theory.
Oh shit!
I gotta be careful. He lives here.
Yes, he does.
Add him to the list.
Yeah, I know.
People want to beat your ass.
There's a lot of people in Vegas that are not happy with me.
Of course. Have you looked in the mirror?
Damn.
I see two bald white guys in this room with glasses on. So I don't. Here, do you want my hat? That's how quick and easy it would be.
And then I could do Mike Bailey impersonations too.
You just did.
All right. So the women's match, the biggest thing was the gear for Rhea Ripley doing the Terrifier mask.
Art the Clown.
That was fucking awesome. Women's match, what'd you think?
It was a good match. The Io Sky trash can spot was the only thing that people really talk about from the match. That and the cameramen not doing the women any justice. Namely, the spot that went viral online of Becky Lynch screaming to herself as she's having a boot put to the side of her face. Yeah. Realistically, though, I mean, you had Rhea Ripley cosplaying as Art the Clown and Undertaker 1994. So that was pretty dope. But realistically, I think that one thing that we need to think about when we talk about, these War Games matches and comparing and contrasting with Blood and Guts.
Okay.
We have
since you want to do that, there we go.
Hey, honestly, Michaels, you're going to be surprised with my take on this. You're going to be dead surprised, okay? WWE and AEW are two totally separate products, okay? Right. I don't love the fact that they're still referring to War Games as War Games necessarily. Just because obviously there's it just didn't feel like a War Games match. Now, the blood and guts matches, again, comparing and contrasting, I think that you're seeing a much more violent and hardcore aspect and segment of the fans that are eating up that match. Reason being is if you go back in time and you look at the War Games matches done in NWA and WCW,
Right.
there weren't a lot of weapons used in those matches. It was more so about the just sheer brutality in those War Games matches. Realistically, it falls in the middle between the two types of matches. WWE's War Games, at least in 2025, is a very, very watered down version of War Games. And thankfully, and obviously copyrights, patents, all this stuff stand in the way of it. But AEW, I'm glad that they're not referring to that match as a War Games. I'm glad that they are referring to it as blood and guts because it really is two totally separate entities. Yes, they're two rings bumped together, thrown under a dual steel cage, and whatever happens, happens with the the timed entrances and technically the match not starting until everybody's in the ring. But that's realistically where the similarities stop. And for anybody who thinks that they're going to see blood or violence like on the scale of AEW's blood and guts match in a WWE War Games match, you are sorely mistaken. WWE is part of TKO, and they have stockholders that they have to appease. They also have countless brand deals and sponsorships and agreements with a lot of big corporations that I don't know if they did even half of the things that AEW does on a weekly basis in terms of the bloodletting, if that would fly with them. So if it's even amped up even more, it's just a recipe for disaster for WWE. And honestly, yeah, they will never be the same match. Sorry to break it to you.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. But the difference is violence or not. Two things. Number one, that ring was seemingly a lot lower this season than it was last year. That ring felt that cage felt a lot shorter. I guess they were trying to make a safer dumpster dive for Io Sky, but I immediately noticed that it was only 2 body lengths high. I'm not even trying to be facetious. If she's up 3 or 4 body lengths up in the sky in a dumpster, that trash can goes the other direction, she could be really severely injured.
Big
so
time.
I think they were trying to make that spot safer overall and still keep the same feeling. However, I was not emotionally invested in this. There was something, the finish for the women's where Mina Shirakawa is getting beaten half to death and Toni Storm is in love with her, quote unquote, and has to choose. There was something on the line there. It was more emotionally gratifying, or there was a connection there. I didn't care either way who won for the women. I did not care. And also all these people seemingly hate each other. So, they're going to go right back to where they were a couple of days down the road. So it was nice. It was, athleticism, great, but it was a sugary ending. And tonight, all of these people are feuding with each other anyway. If you've seen Monday Night Raw, all of the women tag teams from Raw all went against each other. So, hello, it was nice, but they already said, okay, that was cool. It's over. We're going to disregard that now and go back to fighting each other. That's basically the way they approached it on Raw tonight.
So the biggest thing is that what everyone is just fucking stupid about when it comes to this shit is that WCW NWA was the home of War Games, right?
Yep.
That whole wrestling was a different style than WWE. So anyone who thinks that, they need to do more blood, they need to do more guts, etc., it's not what the product has ever been.
Not necessarily even asking for that, but it had to have a purpose, and it felt like filler. It felt like they're doing it for the sake of doing it without it tying into anything or have any consequence for any of the participants.
Well, that's not
One,
true because you're about to see that with the payoff of what's going on with the whole attacker of Punk and
For the men,
and
but at least for the women.
Roman and Cody and Punk as well. That's setting up as
That
what is
was-
gonna
For
happen.
the men, yes. For the women, it served no purpose. For the women, the WWE War Games was just pick
So,
sides, heels versus baby faces, give Lash Legend, get her toes in the water,
but see, that's
and
the
that's
thing.
fine.
That's the thing. You got toes in the water in Lash Legend, and Nia Jax got a match in San Diego, which I believe is her hometown, and so it is what it is. But there's never been anything with the women's War Games that makes anything bigger or better. There's never been anything on the line. That's the thing. They're still figuring that out. And by the way, they never had women's War Games back in the day either.
That's fine.
So-
That's fine. But I think
Correct.
if we're going to say, compared to this double cage AEW thing, AEW, let's say you had no blood and guts, it was just the two cages. They tied it in to the storylines and they moved the stories forward for the women, which is something we
Yeah.
complained about a lot over the last year and a half, that they weren't doing enough with the women. Now they are. It's not just that they're giving them belts, but they're giving them competent storylines to back it up.
Yeah.
Okay, well-
and I was just going to say, I think that the one thing that stood out to me is that they actually did further feuds, build storylines, which is mind blowing to anybody who has watched the AEW women's division for quite some time, because that's been something that's been sorely neglected. And it's great to see that they are taking a step forward with that.
Okay, Meltzer says he thinks the aura of War Games match is not there like it used to be due to AEW Blood and Guts. I think they're just losing the essence of War Games completely, even with Blood and Guts, which I thought those two matches were tremendous. Of course you did, you cocksucking journalist, quote unquote.
Because he couldn't enjoy those matches without showing favoritism.
But
Right.
the whole aura,
I mean, the match was
aura-
good, but
the whole aura of it is just not there like it used to be. I think the weapons take away from it. There's stuff you could do, like those ring to ring dives, and I remember Rule Warriors and Sting would be doing that stuff, and they're a hell of a lot bigger than the guys now. The creativity of what they would do when the matches weren't as wild. Then they feel like Octane was turned up greatly. AEW, they're really violent and bloody. There's a lot of crazy spots, but here it was no different than anything else. It didn't feel special at all. The men's War Games match was pretty good. It just didn't have that blow away feel or anything like that. The other thing is that one of the reasons it was different back then is because there wasn't stuff going on like a cage match in which Will Ospreay is using a screwdriver on Kyle Fletcher, right? That just now happens on a fucking, regular pay-per-view. The reason War Games was unique and different is because it was the only thing around that was doing something like that. We now have had Hell in a Cell for almost 30 years, right? We've had the Elimination Chamber is now 23 years old.
Yeah.
So all this stuff it's not as unique as it once was.
But you just tapped into something. It seems like less a critique of War Games and more critique of the journalists critiquing War Games in the first place. They're not with the times. They're expecting bunch of guys to walk out and looking like.
Well, wait. Let's not say the journalists are not with the times. Let's just say one journalist is not with the times.
But I mean,
because some of the other dirt sheets and stuff again has a different take. Dave was taking it back to the old days. Then you have the takes now that it's just not it's not violent enough in War Games. And then you have the idea that AEW is too violent. That was free TV, by the way. And that's a pet peeve
Exactly.
of mine. Giving that shit away on free TV. Steve, how many more millions of people started watching AEW because they showed that on free TV?
Well, considering the fact that AEW doesn't have a discount or another way to monetize their shows besides putting it on free TV, because realistically speaking, if they would have run that 2.5 hour show that they did on that Wednesday night as a pay-per-view, I'm sure somebody would have complained, and just I'd say probably a good chunk of people would have complained because it didn't do your stereotypical pay-per-view. I think that putting it when you're in the position of AEW, when you are a challenger brand, I think that that is where it makes sense to put it on a free TV because you may capture those viewers
That's what
who
I'm
only
saying.
who only tune in for that particular show, and by giving it away for free, that may be the hook that they need rather than charging them 30, 40, 50 plus dollars to take in that same match.
But on the flip side, you're asking these guys to go out there, Sky Blue, who should not be fucking blading her fucking face open. You're asking them to do this on free TV.
She was all about that shit, though, man.
And
Side note. She
great.
and Kyle Fletcher got to be a freaky as fuck couple. I'm just saying, like they're both into the bloodletting, they're both into the crazy shit. God love them, or whatever entity that they worship. But yeah.
Oh my God.
No, but the honest answer is though, the problem is that you do that and you still don't see the increases. That's the thing. And
well, wait a minute. If you do it or you don't do it, you're damned. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you don't do it, you're not taking chances.
Put it on pay-per-view where these guys are at least doing it for an audience that is paying for it. Meaning that they actually care. They're investing in it. What you're doing is basically saying, we're going to run this for free, right? Because Survivor Series is coming up, right? So we'll put it on free, and then we'll show them, right? That's the same thing with the counter programming, right? That's, we'll do the Site Artists Main Event, we'll launch ESPN, we'll show them. That's the problem. The problem is that both sides are doing things that really aren't beneficial in the long run to the idea of what makes these pay-per-views special.
So,
and that's why you get a sanitized War Games, is because it's just another pay-per-view in the line of having to do monthly pay-per-views to get to one big one or two big ones, the Rumble and then Mania.
Agreed on that. I agreed on that.
There you go.
I agree with that one. It was sanitized. The men's one had a bigger purpose. The women, I said my piece on that. To have it be free is their way of going, hey, look, we need to get people to watch our main program. If they missed it on that Wednesday, they won't want to miss the following Wednesday Dynamite.
Right, but you're not seeing that.
Yeah, and that's
the problem.
And it's a gamble.
It's not just this. It's not just this. It's a constant rewind of that scenario.
That's a Tony Khan issue, though. And that's
of course the whole fucking company is a Tony Khan issue because he's the only one who's doing anything. If he'd let other people fucking do things and diversify it, then maybe you would have a better right now it's just the sycophants who care. That's it. It's just the people who already watch it who thinks it's all right, great stuff as it is. That's great. That's wonderful.
So the conversation came up in some other circles of this, and it was asked of one Bully Ray, and he took your side, and a other Dave journalist said, but I like AEW the way it is, even though it might not be financially successful. I like it the way it is, and maybe this is their lane. And the problem with that is in 2 years, it might not be their lane anymore. The networks that be might say, hey, you have to raise the stakes and raise your viewing or we're going to pull the plug.
Well, wrestling in itself might not be the popular thing in 2 years or 3 years or 5 years. Okay, it goes up and it goes down. So that is a totally that's a different thing than the idea of, you know, Tony Khan. If LaGreca likes it like it is, that's great. Then stop fucking trying to think or say or project that you are a fucking incredible company that all these millions of people love, because that's how he talks. He fucking puts it out there where all this shit is the greatest shit ever made, and they're so much better than that, right? He
Why wouldn't you
was-
have that
to say
attitude,
it's
though?
better.
Why wouldn't you have that attitude if you're trying to sell a program, or realistically anything? If you're trying to sell any type of a product, you have to go into it with the mindset that ours is better than X. Because if you don't,
Right.
you're already
But
defeated.
Steve, if you were talking to Tony Khan and you brought up a fact that you didn't particularly like this one thing, you know what Tony Khan would tell you? You're absolutely wrong. That's what I don't like about that.
That's fine.
Fine.
That's fine. And so here's the argument. This is kind of like the argument of every kind of indie promotion as it gets bigger. People go, oh, if they get bigger, they're going to lose all that made them special in the first place. But if they don't get bigger, they're not going to stick around much longer.
This isn't an indie promotion.
I know. It's not.
This is a guy who says that their product is better than the product that has been around for 40 years.
I think
again, he's trying to sell it to people.
Yeah.
So of course he's going to say that.
He's not. That's the difference. He's not trying to sell it to people. If he was, he would actually fucking promote it the right way and get more word out there and sell more fucking tickets. And that's what I'm saying. He's just fucking in his own mind because the people around him tell him he's a fucking god. That's it. The guy's got a complex like someone who.
That sounds very familiar to me. That sounds like a character I know very well.
That's right. It's very much Obama. So, hey, look at this sign. One of the greatest photos of all time. Tyler, number 19. We stuck your cock in high school. Do you remember us?
Jeez.
Your dick. And I don't know. As long as they don't get the herp, but.
There you go. Just a way to get off of
palate cleanser.
Yeah, get off.
Exactly.
Just got off. We're all clear here. Hey, don't need 13 titles to show your worth. You only need one. Survivor Series with Stephanie holding that title. Stephanie, interestingly enough, carried, I think, Nikki. It was good.
That was that her back has to be still sore, even after a couple of days, from carrying Nikki Bella's ass to a passable match. I wouldn't say it was a great match, but she definitely, yeah. And now, with all due respect, Nikki Bella, take a step away.
That's what, your Trish Stratus did. You gave her a couple of matches. It's the same thing with Lita. You gave her the belt. You put a belt on her for a couple of weeks.
Yep.
She went to Gymnastic City, learned how to tumble again. Yay. You took some bumps. Yay. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the big thing
I looked and I don't want to touch.
Well, she wanted to do this for her kid.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Good for her, man.
Give her her rose. And I mean, give her rose.
Legit.
Let the kids see what mom can do. Oh,
Daniel Fisher, she was out there in her Vader shirt.
Yeah.
That
nice fucking callback. Nice callback to the show.
Oh yeah.
Some more fun things, of course. WWE specifically played Edge and Steve Austin's Titantrons because during the lighting and sound test, because they noticed someone in a nearby apartment live streaming the setup and decided to have some fun. And it did make the internet, which is hysterical. I love that kind of stuff. Then we also had, of course, this viral moment
It's Ernest.
Seriously, man, he needs to take up that mantle and be
It's
Ernest in
fucking
all of those
Ernest.
movies, bro.
He's
It's right
fucking
there.
Ernest. It's so easy. He's Jim
Um,
Varney. Varney's like channeling him.
So what do you guys think about Cena's final pay-per-view match?
Oh god, they played Chris Benoit as well on the
Yeah.
Titantron. That's gee, ew. Ew.
Hey, man, AI, gotta love it. But to answer your question, I think that I'm not in the business of talking shit. I've tried to step away from that, as anybody who knows me on this show will attest. The best way that I can say this is the Dom and Cena match was the best thing that I saw on Survivor Series. Realistically speaking, the right outcome was there. Some people are going to shit on it because John Cena loses the title. Oh, no. But realistically, it's good that Dom gets that win because, quite frankly, he needed it. He needed something to, realistically, we don't know what's going to happen in Cena's final match. For all we know, Cena could go out on top. He could go out winning. And if that's the case, if Dom Mysterio is actually the person that hands John Cena his final loss, that's a huge thing for Dom to hang his hat on. And it just goes to show how far he's come as a competitor. I did also find it interesting that they redid the Penta shoulder separation spot. And it was a worked spot in that match. So I think that was pretty interesting as well. But yeah, good to see Liv back where she belongs. I was worried that she was going to do a babyface turn. She's so much better as a heel. Yeah.
And she
no
did
complaints.
the John Cena face. She did the John Cena face spot.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The soulless John Cena. She did that. And I'm like, all right, this was good writing all the way around. There was callbacks galore. It was Easter eggs and just perfect. Just perfect. You could not have done that better.
And there you go. You see Cena's first SmackDown match, his last SmackDown match, first Raw match, last Raw match, first pay-per-view, and last pay-per-view. Covering from 2002 until now, 23 years, on the main WWE TV. And this image of the final image of John Cena as a champion in the WWE. And that is all leading to this. Of course, we just found out who the final two are going to be, and that's LA Knight and Gunther.
Please let it be Gunther. Please. I want that. I don't know. I want that. But then again, LA Knight's a good mouthpiece, but I think Gunther could do so much with it.
I would actually counter that. I would like to see it be LA Knight. Just because realistically speaking, you've had Gunther already kind of solidify himself through his title reigns and things of that nature.
Sure.
And while LA Knight has developed a considerable cult following among WWE fans and even non-WWE fans, I would rather see him in this match than see Gunther in the match because LA Knight needs that rub more than Gunther does. And it's all about preparing the next competitors, the next generation. Despite Ricker being the age that he is, I think that he definitely would benefit more than Gunther.
Yeah, I mean,
the promos that would be able to be cut by LA Knight would be better, which would be great. You can have the promos those two would cut would be great. But I would like to see the in-ring competition between Gunther and Cena. I would like to see the crosshead, the knife chops. I would love to see just the FTSs, all of that stuff. It would be such an amazing fucking match physically to watch Gunther verse. But on the other hand, the smack talk part of it, just make a hybrid version. Just let it be a triple threat match.
Of course.
There you go. Okay, speaking of tournaments, this thing's going on. Anything stick out here with this Continental Classic stuff?
Wow.
Ugh.
Yeah, actually, talking about Dynamite for a bit. The match right there on the top, Kazuchika Okada and Kyle Fletcher. Obviously, you had the subtext of both guys being members of the Don Callis family. So again, for people that say that AEW doesn't work storylines into their matches and they just have dream matches and throwing together random tournaments, not quite the case. They've been teasing Okada, having some dissension with Takeshita, and obviously Takeshita and Fletcher have been an on again, off again tag team. It really did add some good layers to it, and with Fletcher picking up the win, it's huge for him there. Even over on Collision, you had Takeshita. Speaking of him, he got a massive win, going up 3 points in the Continental Classic, pinning Roddy Strong. Realistically speaking, no one thought Roddy would win this match if it were outside of a tournament. But that is another reason why these tournaments are great, because you will see people like Okada, random people that you wouldn't expect to win, pull off these random upsets in these tournaments. So I think that across the board, the Continental Classic has proven to be a very solid month of programming for AEW in the past 2 years. I don't understand why this year won't be any different. All of your Continental Classic tournament matches have been pretty solid. If you're a fan of pro wrestling, again, you're not going to be seeing screw job finishes. Everyone barred from ringside. There's not going to be any type of weapons typically in these matches. So you're going to get a finish, a resolution, and each match has a 20-minute time limit. So they're easily digestible. Plus, for the love of God, we didn't even really talk about it too much, but Mark Briscoe as TNT champion, yes, please. I love it. Keep that shit on him for a while. They even gave him a custom title belt. So you got to love that.
Yeah, I love the fact that you just said shit on him. So,
hey, this ain't WWE.
What is this all about? Tony Khan saying it's apparent that those AEW Collision spoilers about tonight's show were fake news. It's just my opinion. I think it's an example of why I don't believe every rumor I see online. How can top sites get multiple matches results wrong, posting spoilers as news on a network TV show?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't understand.
So realistically speaking, there were some spoilers that were posted to various dirt sheets after Collision was taped on Wednesday night, because obviously that was Thanksgiving Eve. Thursday's Collision was, a taped episode. So some people decided to throw some random results to dirt sheets. I think that this was pretty funny, seeing reports of certain people going over, like Roddy Strong. One of the things was Roderick Strong pinning Takeshita in the middle of the ring, and picking up those 3 points in the Classic. But it just goes to show that, wrestling is not a hive mind. However much people want to say that it might be, you've got these journalists that have an affinity for one promotion or another. And I think that we all know where certain people's loyalties lie. But at the end of the day, it's good to keep those site admins on their toes a bit. So I don't necessarily have a problem with this. If you're going to throw...
Why did Tony do it?
To get people to tune into the show, man. To get people to tune into the show. That's... I love psychology. I think it's a solid. I think it's a solid play. Yes, it's a bit of trolling, just like what we saw with WWE running those, obvious red herring entrances. This was another form of spoilers being used as red herrings. I love it.
But I have a question, guys, about something that you just ran earlier regarding AEW, which didn't make sense to me, and maybe I misunderstood. Do you have that photo that you had before with the matches for the Continental?
No.
You deleted that?
I have to erase stuff, Rob. So
No, that's
I
fine.
don't
That's
know
fine.
why
That's
we
fine.
keep going backwards.
No, because you missed
we
it. You
just need to
missed
go
something
forward.
gigantic. You missed something gigantic, which
What is it?
neither of you. So Kyle beat Okada, yes?
Yeah.
Doesn't Okada currently hold the belt that they're fighting for?
Yep.
So how does that work?
So he vacated it. It's in what was the term under Vince? The Continental title is being held in abeyance, I believe it was the term that was used under Vince McMahon in WWE. But while the Continental Classic tournament is going on, that's why you saw Okada enter. And yes, this bugs the ever-loving fuck out of me, but whatever. He entered wearing the International Championship. They had the Continental Championship on a pedestal outside of the ring. So he was not wearing that unified title.
Which is what he fought Kenny Omega for, and they had the whole big match and lead up to make the one belt, and then they split it up, what, completely 2 months later?
I'm not a fan of that shit whatsoever. They need to truly absorb the International and the Continental titles together and have that unified title be the prize of the tournament if you want to do that. But there's no reason why you still have Okada coming out with the International Championship. It's fucking stupid.
That's what I was getting at. And also, and then to go from one belt, split it back up into two, and then add the national championship at the same time. You added 3 belts when you would have just had one.
Yep.
There's not even that much showtime available each week to have all these matches and have it, and put enough energy and emphasis into them.
Yeah.
That was my point.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Speaking of guys who can't win titles in their own company and has to go to Mexico to win a title.
Jeez.
Claudio wins the CMLL World Heavyweight Championship in Arena, Mexico. Am I saying that right? Is the name of the city Arena? Did I get that right? Arena, Mexico?
It's a venue. It's a venue. Well played. But yeah, Claudio pinned Gran Guerrero, ending his 3-year reign as CMLL World Heavyweight Champion.
Does it come up to the Roman Reigns theme?
And take 10 minutes to make his entrance? Probably.
Is he related to the Guerreros?
I would like to say yes, but I'm not sure.
You don't want to go that.
I'm not totally for sure on that, but I will. If somebody knows in the chat, feel free to post that in there, and we will definitely get back to that and mention it.
They're all the same. Guerrero there, Guerrero here. Whatever. It's all the same.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
Same last name.
Bully Ray believes AEW pay-per-views are too long. In ECW back in the day, we would have very long shows at the arena, but that was for 1,000 people who showed up to see the show. It wasn't for the people watching on pay-per-view at home. There was no pay-per-view back then for ECW, so it was for the people in attendance. Listen, 5 hours is a long time to keep the energy level, and no matter what you're doing. I think that for AEW, the sweet spot might be 4 hours, knock it down an hour. We know you're never getting this done in 3. I agree, 4 hours.
Yeah, but it can't be. I mean, it's not longer than New Japan Pro Wrestling. They do like 12-hour fucking pay-per-view sometimes.
Yeah, but New Japan is it's overseas, dude.
Yeah.
There are just a few companies here that do pay-per-view, and so that's what you compare it to.
Yeah, I think that the argument could be made that if they did want to keep that 5-hour time frame, and Tony actually mentioned this in the Full Gear Media Scrum, that they're going to look at in 2026 shifting the pay-per-view start times to the middle of the afternoon, much like what they did during All In. Honestly, that that would be spot on for them. Because if you look at it, the main reason why a lot of people over on the East Coast aren't a fan of the length of the pay-per-view is because sometimes those shows end at 12, maybe even 1 o'clock in the morning.
Whoa, but he said they're going to start the shows.
Correct.
You didn't say that he's going to end the show before midnight.
Well played. Yeah, well played.
Can we also get back to having a formal showtime beginning and not starting in the middle of a pre-show? Match?
They don't need to have the pre-show matches carry over to the main show. They did it the last 2 pay-per-views. They don't need to do it next month or anywhere else.
It's sloppy. Sloppy.
Wrestling companies love to take a concept and just beat it into the ground if it draws any kind of a positive customer or viewer response. We've seen that with both major promotions. And yeah, that's one thing that needs to go away immediately. If World's End fucking starts with a match from the pre-show, dude, I could definitely sense there'll be a lot of fans that are pissed off about that because they've done it twice. They don't need to do it a 3rd time in a row.
Okay. Well, Eric Bischoff recently dropped by Action Network for a chat. During this conversation, he talked about how he doesn't respect Tony Khan anymore. Here are his comments. Tony likes to compare himself to me in WCW, but he hasn't gotten to the part yet where he's actually changed the industry or defeated his competition in head-to-head ratings. He likes to draw a lot of parallels to himself or WCW or Eric Bischoff, but they're really not appropriate. And the real reason I've been vocal about Tony and AEW, and Tony knows this, I've talked to him about this, is Tony came out on national television and was very disrespectful, in my opinion, to Ted Turner, the guy whose name is still on the door at Turner Broadcasting, where Tony airs his show. And Tony made some ridiculous comment in the effect of, if Ted Turner knew 1% about professional wrestling, as I do, WCW would still be around. It was such a profoundly stupid thing to say that it made me lose respect for Tony. It also indicated to me that Tony doesn't understand the business he's in. Tony has the benefit of having a couple $2 billion behind him. He doesn't really need to worry about performance from a revenue perspective because he's not really accountable to anybody. He's spending his own money and he's got a lot of it to spend. He makes no bones about it. This is his hobby. Some people play golf. Some people have wrestling companies. But to be disrespectful to someone like Ted Turner while you've got a show on his network, to me, just told me everything you need to know about Tony. And look, I'm critical. I want it to succeed. I know people have a hard time believing that, but I've been critical because I wanted it to succeed. I pointed out that they need to actually tell real stories, not cosplay wrestling, journalist stories, but actual real stories and real structure with real stakes, with real arcs to those stories and real payoffs to those stories. The characters have to be interesting. There needs to be some depth to these characters. They can't look like they just showed up at the Jiffy Lube oil change center so you can change your oil for $29.95. I mean, you can actually have to look like a star for people to perceive you to be a star. So there's just so many basic fundamental things that are lacking from AEW's show, which is why over a year and a half ago, I predicted with uncanny freaking accuracy exactly where the ratings for AEW would be today. Over a year and a half, I predicted, guess what? Right on the money. And it's not because I'm smart. It's just because I understand the business. I see the trends. I see what's missing. And I can tell you with probably 100,000 viewers what the ratings are going to be a year from now. Ooh.
He's not saying anything we haven't said ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially directed at Tony. Not the product, not the wrestlers, at Tony.
Well, the writing is good, decent, and the wrestlers are great. They're just running it. They're fucking it up. The implementation. I
hadn't heard the quote about Ted Turner, and if I had it, I had forgotten about it. But I could definitely see where that quote would cause somebody like an Eric Bischoff to lose respect for Tony. It makes sense. There are some things that you just don't say even if they have a modicum of truth behind them, there are some things that are just better left unsaid. That being said, I think that where AEW is right now, realistically, if you look at AEW at the end of 2025, they're in a much, much better place creatively, by all accounts, behind the scenes. They're in a much better place than they were at the end of 2024. So realistically speaking, I would like to believe that they've turned a corner, or they maybe have hit bottom and now they're starting to bounce back up. I don't think that, it's all doom and gloom and that there's no coming back or any of this kind of bullshit, because the business in itself is cyclical. We all know that. And if people choose to say otherwise, then they are delusional. Professional wrestling, WWE, AEW is everything is cyclical. You will have people that will step away from the product. You will have people that will come back to the product. That's just how this business is. The names may change, but it still remains the same.
Okay. Rob, any thought?
When it comes to Bischoff, he wants to be back in the limelight. Think about it. He was top of the food chain at WCW, only sharing with Vince Russo, if at all. But he was seen on camera with NWO a fuck ton. Then he gets to TNA, and what happens? His character Bischoff talks that same smack at TNA. Now where is he? He was happy when AEW put him on there to officiate that MJF spot, or that little segment a few years earlier. He's an attention whore. Look, we can argue a trillion different ways to heaven and hell about all the things wrong with AEW, but all these guys want one more chance to be on the stage, one more chance to be behind the scenes. Would they benefit to have him? I don't know. Let's say
I don't think he wants to be behind the scenes at all. I don't think he has anything to do with that. I think it's very simple that this guy comes out and he says shit that he shouldn't be saying. As Steve just pointed out, that when you cross a certain line, then it's like, well, you know what? Fuck you. Then I am going to say things that are honest and true. And that's it. That's all he's doing. He's being real with a guy who is a fucking delusional fucking.
Yeah, I get that. Person. But right now, that guy. Here's the thing: we could grind our teeth about it, and we can call it for what it is with Tony Khan. But at the end of the day, it's house money. And if he fails, he fails.
And here's the thing about house money. Booker T says he wishes AEW was around when he was at the end of his wrestling career, so he could have tried to get a paycheck without working like Ric Flair. I wish they had AEW around when I was doing this. I'd have camped out. I just camped out. Made me a little tent. I wouldn't have been going nowhere, man, because I'm serious. They pay you not to work in AEW. Ric Flair's still under contract from what I've been hearing. What has he done? What has Ric Flair done for AEW? It's a safe haven. It's definitely a retirement spot if you're looking to wrap things up in the right way. I get it, man. I get it. Seriously.
So the story with Ric Flair was Ric Flair wanted to get involved with matches. He was getting involved in the corner with trying to mess around with the Elite, with the Young Bucks, tripping them up. And then there's a conversation behind the scenes, and he has to tell Tony Khan that he's on blood thinners. And Tony Khan said to him, "You're not going anywhere near the ring if you're on blood thinners. I don't need you hemorrhaging out. That ain't going to fucking happen." So Ric Flair's got to be doing shit backstage. I can't imagine exactly what per se.
No, they're paying him to stay home, bro.
Yeah.
They're paying him to stay home. Realistically, though, Booker T is somebody that we know his feelings on AEW. We know where his loyalties lie. We know that he's on WWE programming every single week. So realistically speaking, whenever he throws out any shade to AEW like this, it literally just makes me laugh, because I don't trust a word that the guy says when it comes to AEW, and it's not meant to be taken seriously.
Hold
it can't
up.
be.
Here's
It
what
can't
you
be
do.
taken fucking
This
seriously.
is what you give Booker T. You give him a butterfly belt because he's behaving like a diva right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. So, you know, I mean, he's absolutely wrong. I love what the Big Show's been doing with AEW. It's awesome. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's cool.
Nothing,
you know,
nothing will ever dissuade me, though, from saying this. Sting had a better farewell and retirement tour than the one that we're seeing right now in WWE. And I'm leaving it at that.
Sting didn't have a fucking retirement tour.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. That's what it was. That's what it was. They point blank said it.
They said
his retirement.
And if Sting had any type of capability of doing what John Cena has done in another career and profession, Sting wouldn't have had to do 5 years in fucking AEW.
I totally get it.
As Darby
I totally
Allin's
get
little
it.
bitch.
Notice how all that I had to do was give one slight little critique of John Cena's booking. Not of John Cena's performance, but of John Cena's booking. And Matt flips out and loses his shit. You can't make it up. You can't make it up.
You're right. He's so
twist the knife a little bit.
He didn't put anyone over. You're right. That's exactly it.
Sting did a good job. He went out in style. He had great matches. He did a few hardcore matches. He had some great spots. And then he comes back and he still looks amazing, even as an old man Sting. It was a very Logan style to it, the way he's been doing his thing. I like it. It's a great transition. I can't complain about it. I complain about it a lot. I thought it was good.
All right. So here's another guy we just talked about, Flair. Flair said about Hogan, what killed him was street drugs. When the doctor wouldn't prescribe anymore, he was in such pain. Imagine 10 back surgeries, 2 knees, 2 hips, all this. And then he had a neck surgery and got infected. So they went and they got off the drugs they went and got the drugs off the street. His body just said, you know what, bingo, I can't do it anymore. And that's Flair on how Hogan died.
Okay. Who knows? Just go with it.
What did we say just a minute ago about things being better left unsaid? Like, really? Come on, Rick. Like, fuck out of here with that shit.
Man, if that old man was being used more on AEW TV, he would never be saying stuff like this. Okay, speaking of making returns, Scarlett Bordeaux was victorious in MLW versus Ilse Dawn. So she's back, and you can actually watch that on the YouTube channel for MLW. And speaking of being back, this guy, Jushin Liger, unretires to wrestle Joey Janela at WrestleCade in a 4-minute match.
Thunder Liger's back.
Why do you sully that shit? I know pro wrestlers never fully retire, but damn it, Jushin Thunder Liger unretiring to wrestle, of all people, Joey Janela.
Okay, so here's my prediction. He wrestles Joey Janela. I give it 5 months before he's dead.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
Steve got it. Steve made the association.
Yeah.
All right, this week's AEW over under, Steve. I don't know
Your
why
mic.
the mute.
I didn't mute anything.
No one did. It just didn't take it off. That's weird. All right.
It maybe someone with StreamYard just doesn't want me to say what I gotta say. Rob.
I'm just fucking with you guys.
Jesus. Anyway, so obviously we already talked about the Continental Classic kicking off. And realistically speaking, we've gotten 3 matches in that tournament announced for this week. Some pretty solid matches. We got that Jon Moxley versus Claudio Castagnoli match, which I should say, I need to put respect on his name. The CMLL World Heavyweight Champion, Claudio Castagnoli. And I'm going to say it. We saw Moxley pick up the win last week on Dynamite over Mascara Dorada. I think that might be the only match that Jon Moxley wins in this Continental Classic tournament. And your over-under this week is, I'm going to say that it's going to be over a 10-minute match, solid, but Claudio's picking up that win against Moxley. And would not surprise me if at World's End, if Jon Moxley's world doesn't end as we know it, and he gets that plastic bag.
Baby!
So we all know that Jon Moxley was the one who attacked CM Punk
Of
in
course.
the cage. So it
Of
will
course.
be
That's
Moxley.
that's what the internet told me this morning.
Yeah, the Shield will be getting back together. All right. Presidential pontifications by the president pontificating.
Well, my fellow Americans, when we pontificate, we do so in a way that uplifts and not tears folks apart. And in the United States, when we have legends fighting other legends, that's just not good for the morale of the American people. Putting out rumors, talk about Hulk Hogan was doing street drugs. Hulk Hogan was fucking strange. At Bubba the Love Sponge's house, there was nothing that was going to cure his problems. And I like my African brother there, but I think his braids are a little too tight, Mr. Booker T. You haven't sat on a throne in 15 years. And you're talking about what Ric Flair's doing. You're not even at the visitor center of Mount Rushmore. So you need to pull it back, brother. Because I got everything. When Barack Obama did it, I not only won once, but I won twice. Because in my house, I had the beans, the greens, the potatoes, tomatoes, the lamb, the ram, the hog, the dog, chicken, turkey, rabbit, you name it. I had it all. And you're doing commentary on NXT. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, you used to be on SmackDown. Next week, you're going to be on NXTNA, their dark show. So, to all my brothers and sisters out there fighting, Mr. Eric Bischoff fighting for the scraps at the table, all you need to do is have a rich Middle Eastern father who owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, and you too can live the American dream. The Middle Eastern American dream.
DJ Impact's raw high cowboy boots, white snake skin pattern on the top of the shoe. I got my hat on, I'ma tie it with a noose, cause I love you to death, girl, you got me on mute. Yeah, these girls do the most, like every time I talk, they don't like what I post. I went down to Texas to perform a couple shows, cause they love the way I move and they love the way I roll. Big pimpin' on a flight to New York. No, I'm not from Texas, but I'm on the dance floor. Do-si-do with a blonde little bang. I just might give her a ring, and I just wanna hear her say,
Okay, time for our internet dump. Bret Hart says he has a tough time watching wrestling today because it's too fake for him. I'll be honest, I have a hard time watching today's wrestling. I just can't really watch it. It's too fake for me, but I love watching the old 90s wrestling. Like when I watch my matches back. That's all we have to do. Just go it right there. That's it, right there. Beautiful. Awesome. Speaking of Bret Hart, on Thanksgiving, he was trying to put the turkey in a sharpshooter.
On brand.
Right. And because the turkey was watching Brett's matches. Listen, mate, I've drunk with everybody, rock stars, bikers, lunatics, you name it. And I've put every one of them flat on the floor. But Andre the fucking Giant, Jesus Christ, that man wasn't human. I kept pouring him back thinking, yeah, I've got him. And he's just sitting there smiling like it's bloody apple juice. He finished a whole case while I was dying on the table. There's only two men on this planet I couldn't outdrink, and Andre was one of them. The bloke could drink countries into bankruptcy. That's from Ozzy Osbourne.
I couldn't recognize who that was in that
Bars.
picture on the right. I know it was like I
it's
had
Ozzy.
a yeah, I know. You found like the one picture of him, or it looks like he's
Yeah.
an investment banker.
Look at speaking of rock
shit.
stars.
Woo!
There we go. Little Sting on Sting action.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Double
it's
Sting.
the only good thing that Sting ever did. The Hot Topic and the Coles employees having lunch together at the mall.
All right.
Your music saved me. A sign for the honky tonk man. And speaking of this classic photo of The Rock and the honky tonk man right there. Gotta love that photo of the two of them. Speaking of loving photos, Stacy Keebler. She's still got legs and knows how to use them. And
Still.
of course, Mandy.
Love her.
Wow. Thanksgiving happened.
Yeah, I know. It just happened in that picture.
Yeah. And this is the old rock float from, I believe it was 2000. I think it was 2000 that he was in the Macy Day Parade in that float. Classic thing here where the Iron Sheik was choking a turkey. And the reason I grabbed that shot was because of this cool ass fucking. Look at
Nice.
that is so awesome.
That's
It
dope.
was great to see. This great little story here from Baseball Definitions. Babe Ruth briefly traded the battlefield for the ball field for the wrestling ring in 1945, serving as a special guest referee to help draw big crowds. Fans love seeing the baseball legend in an unexpected role, and promoters knew his presence guaranteed excitement. His first match came on April 2nd in Portland, where he refereed Manuel Cortez versus Leo Numa, and even had to dodge a punch during the action. Cortez later disqualified, giving the night plenty of drama. 2 days later in Boston, Ruth officiated Steve Casey versus Sando Zazba, a longer bout that ended with Casey's victory. It remains one of the more unusual chapters in Ruth's colorful post-playing days. And there you go. The babe in the ring.
Wow, look at that.
All right. Speaking of babes in the ring, come on.
Oh,
there we go.
Oh.
All right, you guys.
Jesus Christ.
Rank them. Each of you guys rank them. Your 6 through 1.
Shit. One being the best.
One being the best. Yes. So who's the bottom, and then go all the way to the top. Come on. Go.
All right. So you got to have. If I'm going by this.
Yes.
I'm putting, man, this is tough. My number one spot is like a fight between Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton. Fuck, it's Tiffy time. Then Chelsea Green number 2. Liv Morgan number 3. Stephanie Vicaire number 4. Nikki Bell at 5, and Rhea Ripley is last.
Steve.
All right, man. So for me, Tiffany, Chelsea, Stephanie, Rhea, Liv, and Nikki.
Is Nikki your number 1 or number 6?
Nikki is my number 6.
Nikki
is my number 6. I know, it's brutal. Dude, there's
tough.
There's not a bad choice in that list, bro.
No, man.
Bad choice in that list.
Rhea goes number 6. Then I'd say Stephanie for me goes I go Tiffany 5, Stephanie 4, I gotta go Chelsea 3, Nikki 2, and Liv number 1. Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
There you go.
And then I'll go with something a little later tonight.
Hey!
Hellraiser Ramon.
That's dope.
And this is Macho Man. Share him for no reason, please.
Never need a reason for Macho Man.
The cream of the crop.
Bam Bam Juggalo.
Jesus.
Flair
Larry
Busey. And of course, King Jong Bundy.
Oh God.
Peacock. Big Turd.
What was
That would be Michigan. Michigan, the big turd this week.
Hey, finally, I want to revisit WrestleMania 3, some of the greatest moments that happened. Harley Race losing to the Junkyard Dog and having to bow down with Bobby Heenan and Carlos Moolah to the new king, the Junkyard Dog. That was one of the hot early matches. Of course, when Roddy Piper had to shave his head, get a shaved head from losing to Adrian Adonis, was a shocker for all. Macho Man retaining the Intercontinental Championship was something else. The dejected George Steele and Ricky Steamboat. It was just amazing. That match just brings back so many memories.
Absolutely.
Of course, Andre defeating Hulk Hogan and becoming the world heavyweight champion, and the poor Hulk Hogan dejected at the end of WrestleMania 3. But the biggest moment by far in WrestleMania 3 was when Little Beaver pressed Bundy over his head and slammed him to the ground. Even the referee was shocked. There you go. WrestleMania 3.
Wow.
A big recap.
Now show the AI versions.
Oh, no, I don't want to ruin it for everyone. Go back and watch for yourselves to see what happened. All the great moments in WrestleMania 3.
That doesn't, I don't remember any of that.
Well, Rob, it's, you're getting up there in years, and that's probably getting up there in years. Look at the flock.
Jeez.
Riggs, Saturn, Raven, Lodi, and Reese all sitting there while it looks like a fan or someone's getting their picture taken with them, and they could really give a shit less than they're doing that. All right. Okay. Rob, what you got going on?
On the 22nd, not counting, no, this Wednesday I will not be at Ola Abibi at Casino Severa 11:15. Still go see it. Go check out the Horsemen, Lex Las Vegas, Khalil Mack, Mike Stiggs. You'll be in for a good show on Wednesday night. I will be in Texas. On the 22nd, though, I will be at a Mistress K show at Bonfire on Naples Street by UNLV. And I'll be featuring there. That show will be on Monday, and it starts at 8 p.m. So,
okay, Steve, what do you got to say?
All right. Hey, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, doing all the stuff that you guys do. We appreciate each and every one of you. Also, very special thank you to all the brave men and women serving this country, whether you're doing it on lands, foreign or domestic. Thank you for doing what you do so that we can do what we love to do. And last but not least, repsports.com, reppsports.com. Go there for all your pre-workout, weight loss, and general energy needs. Repsports.com. Use promo code Vegas at checkout. Save yourself 10%. PP.
Did any of you have a great time tonight?
Yeah. With that, everybody, thank you for hanging out. We'll do it all again next week. Till then, happy wrestling.
Rolling up the strip under neon lights. Podcast mics glowing in the desert night. Matt Michaels leading with the swagger tight. Sin City Steve right by his side. Alright. Rob Larry dropping truths, no fear. Rock Podcasting stories make it loud and clear. From the Fremont edges to the Bellagio sphere, these bad boys rule, let me make that clear. Vegas bad boys, tearing up the scene.
To Matt Michaels and the Vegas Boys of Podcasting, this is John Cena saying thank you so much